there's less resistance. Because I'm recruiting you to your friend Andy, and then I'm recruiting Mickey to his friend Payne, and Rocky to his friend Mickey. I'm not recruiting them to WFG, Transamerica, the financial industry. I say, why don't you get into business with your friend? We'll have some fun and make some money. It's easy, it's believable, it's quick, why not? When I have to sell someone on the whole picture, it's a lot more slow. You know, there's 6 degrees of separation amongst everyone in the world. You know someone who knows someone who knows someone, and eventually everyone knows everybody. And with the internet, it's probably 5 or 4. So it's moving faster. You've seen this before. I'm going to remind you. This made Andy and myself the number 2 and 3 guys in the company. It's this. In 12 months, you can go from wherever you are in this room to the top position in the company. In 12 months. But I promise that will not happen if you don't have a singular focus. If you're distracted, distraction equals destruction. If you're worried about passing your Series 65, or you're really struggling with other issues, whatever they may be, you won't do it. You've all seen this before, but if your average sale is 3,000 points, if your average sale is 3,000 points, 10 recruits essentially equals 30,000 points. In your first month, you do 10, you're already hitting senior associate roughly. Month 2, you're at 45,000, you're at MD. Month 3, 25 recruits, 75,000 points. You hit the points in 1 month to make SMD by doing 25 recruits and internal consumption running tight on all of them. I think there needs to be a new standard in the company, SMD in 90 days. But you need to have, if you look, right there, 50 recruits. 10, 15, 25, you have 50 new people in 30 days, or in 90 days. That's what never happens anymore. Very rarely does somebody have 50 recruits in their first 90 days. You know why? Because they're focused on everything else. Because their own leader who brought them in isn't focused on that. How is somebody new supposed to focus on that if their leadership isn't? It's impossible. And then everyone in the office isn't. So what every other conversation your new person has with somebody else who's not focused on this, they're going to get them even more distracted. In the mid to late 90s, this was on the tongue, the tip of everybody's tongue in the company. Everywhere you went, all the time, nonstop, everyone was talking about this. So new people, they didn't know what they were doing. They're like, okay, well, I guess this is what you do. I guess what you do is just go hit 10, then 15, then 25, then 35, then 50, 50, 50. You're already an EMD. You've been in the company 7 months. Then you push it up 75, 75, you're a CEO, then 100, 100, 100, you're an EDC. All in 12 months. And here's what it doesn't count. This is how conservative this is. This does not count any field training. I recruit you, I average 3,000 points for 1 recruit. When I get a new recruit, if they happen to be in a decent market, married couple with kids, that's what I mean by decent, they usually need 2 or 3 things, not 1, on internal consumption alone. Not to mention, if they want to go out in the field a little bit, there's 2 or 3 or 4 more sales, just like that. So you're really talking somewhere around 3 to 6 sales per new recruit. This factor is 1. Just 1. No field training. And you're at the top of the company. All my teams, all my offices, I notice so many people, everybody, they're on recruiting and then they're off recruiting. Then they're on it again, then they're off it again. There's some of you that are pretty good recruiters and not that good at production. You're pretty good recruiters and maybe you're not in that good of a market, let's say. Maybe your average sale is 1,000 points. When I started, by the way, I was young, single, and broke, and my whole market was too. My average sale was 600 points. When I ran this chart, I still made it to the top of the company. Somehow, with all the little ones, we found some big ones, and it all got averaged out in the end, and this number of recruits produced the top position in the company for me at age 28. So it does work. If you're in the wrong market, you could start trying to shore it up and focus on a real high-end market, I would tell you just to keep recruiting like crazy. Just keep recruiting everybody. If you're in the wrong market because it's too young, eventually it'll get older. If you're in the wrong market because everyone's single, eventually people get married. If you're in the wrong market because no one has kids, eventually people find out a way to have kids. You figure these things out. So I would tell you, the thing you can control is where you focus. Your main focal point should be right here on never-ending massive recruiting. I'm doing $1,500, $1,600 a month. I'm not happy at all with that. You know my average SMD, I got remember I told you I have 250? Mm-hmm. I've got, Andy, this is embarrassing to me, but I'm going to tell you because I showed some the other day. I've got about 30 or 40 of the 250 that do double-digit recruiting. That means 210 base shops don't even do 10 a month in their whole base shop. But I got one of the #1 recruiting teams in the company. That's horrible. Shouldn't everybody, they're a byproduct of me. My base did 52 last month. Shouldn't they at least do 10? They say, well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. In this case, it did. It fell down the tree, rolled down the mountain, crossed the street, fell in the river, and went all the way up to sea. That apple does not resemble the tree. I've got SMDs that you wouldn't even know they're from the same company as me. I don't know how that happens. If I had the solution, Trevor, I would fix it. But all I do know is I need to go produce another 250 so I can get another 40 that do double-digit recruiting. Or we can try to get them all doing it. But I'm not in the business of changing people. Man, that stinks. You know, when you try to change people, they don't like it. Because subliminally you're telling them that there's something wrong with them, and people don't like to be told that there's something wrong with them. Let's say you're successful and you change them. Well, they still resent you for changing them later. Even if they know it's for the better. I don't know why. Changing people is not a good business to be in. Finding people is. We are in the finding people business, not the changing people business, okay? So instead of trying to change that little team you have into something else, go get a new one. And just love your team for who they are, where they are, what they're doing, and go get yourself a new one. Because it's not hard to get. The getting is good right now. I think that's my time. Thank you very much. I'll be talking to you again in the afternoon.